Cool. So we had a company reach out to us, American Mortgage. Their URL is mortgageofusa.com. They seem like really nice people. But when I pop in loan programs, that's weird. Let me look up their full domain. I don't really want to see just this particular page. But when I look at their website as a whole, this is what we're up against, right? This is what they're coming to me with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like we have our work cut out for us here. We're ranking for a whopping like 22 keywords and different things like that. So, right. So if this company comes to us, where in the world do we start? And see, that's a huge difficulty. And now let me kind of compare and contrast, right? So Appletastic Learning. Let's see who's worked on that account. A lot of people. So Appletastic Learning, especially now, but even when they first came to us, they were performing for such a variety of keywords, right? So they come to us now. I mean, look at that. Look how well they've grown. Look at this organic traffic. Look at that. Is that not incredible or what? Anyways, they're absolutely a fantastic case study of what we've been able to do. But even when they came to us, excuse me, apologize. Even when they came to us, they were doing pretty well. I think they were kind of over here. So that's not bad. They're performing for a variety of different keywords, maybe closer here. Anyways, in that realm. Either way, doing pretty dang good. So for them, we could kind of look at their keywords. And this is one of the cool things here that Ahrefs can do for us. What I'm going to do is I'm looking for keywords that they are within striking distance of. And what I mean for that is like, okay, what keywords with a little bit of love could we help them perform better for? So I'm going to look for keywords that are in position 5 to, I'll say 25. I'll open that. I'll have it be that broad. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And now some of these opportunities might look good, right? But some of them are looking a little bit challenging, right? Solar system for kids. The keyword difficulty is 35. 5th grade math. Wow, 15,000 monthly searches. If we can get them well positioned for that, that would be amazing. Yes, that would be. But the keyword difficulty on a scale of 0 to 100 is 61 out of 100. So that's pretty high. So the likelihood of us being able to have them perform like number 1 for 5th grade math is pretty low. Right now they're performing, and this little icon says that they are performing because they're in kind of the images. So if I look for this one, 5th grade math, if I come in here and look for this, they are performing because they're somewhere in here. Right, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're already on page 1 for these particular terms. They're somewhere in this giant mess of images here. So let's see, that's not them, that's not them. Nope, 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 nope. So the likelihood of this like really resulting in, here we go, this is ours. This is Appletastic. So that's not necessarily a great opportunity, although there is a good amount of traffic there. And they're relatively performing for it. This would still be an incredibly unlikely opportunity. Solar system for kids, 3,000 monthly searches. That looks great. But the keyword difficulty, once again, is 35 out of 100, which may not sound like a lot, but it can be a challenge. So what I'm really looking for is this particular one right here. This filter that we can use is actually a filter of keyword difficulty. And so I'm going to go from 0 or minimum to, for this example, we'll go ahead and we'll do like 15 or something like that. We'll stay there. So we can see now these are looking a lot better. For this particular term, serial box book report, which if you've looked at the most recent report, there's a reason we're looking at this particular one, because there's a good amount of traffic there, 1,700 a month. They're currently in spot 7 on that first page of Google. So pretty dang good. And the keyword difficulty is 4. So by all those indications, that's a pretty good opportunity. Now I'm going to look at this and I just want to see it based on volume. So, okay, solar system project, they're in spot 11. So they're off of page 1, but just ever so slightly. And the keyword difficulty is 12. That's not bad. So once again, if you've looked at the report and some of these different tasks that are coming down the pipeline, this is something that I'm hoping that we can go after, is these terms, because these look like really good opportunities, this one and this one. I don't know what cup game is. I haven't looked into that one yet, but I'll have to do that at some point because it looks like another good opportunity there. 1900 monthly searches, keyword difficulty of 8. They are on page like 3, right? So they're a little ways down there. But based on this, we know with a little bit of work, that could be a really good opportunity, right? So any questions about anything that I'm doing here so far? Krista?
Oh, sorry. I have a question, and it's not necessarily about what you're doing, but is this also beneficial for like Google Ads? Just curious.
It can be.
Okay.
So this one over here, Ahrefs actually gives us a general cost per click. Now, how accurate this is, I don't really know. This is a third party, so it's not from Google, but frankly, I don't trust the data that Google gives me either. But yes, this can be kind of helpful there. So you can kind of say, okay, solar system project, average cost per click is 40 cents there. Okay, great. If we make $10 off of it, then we can say, 10 clicks might be an acceptable range if we can kind of get it down to that, right? So it can be kind of helpful, but then also I think it gives you a good amount of forecasting. Like, okay, there's 10,000 monthly searches. Awesome. Like that's really helpful. So yeah, this data can be helpful there for you. Also, you can kind of say, well, if the keyword difficulty is high, that might mean that there's a good amount of competition there. So kind of helpful. But if you want to get really, really specific, then yeah, this could be a good opportunity for Google Ads as well. Any other questions in regards to that? Okay. Yep. So this is a great way to be able to go about it. So that's super, super helpful. All this information is really, really good for us. Now, what can also be good is if they reach out to us and they say, hey, we have kind of some competitors that are doing really, really well. We'd like to kind of see what they're doing potentially here. And let me try to pull up that. And let's see if I can't pull up some of their competitors. So if I want to get a little bit of look into, so this is kind of how we're performing for our current keywords, right? So this can kind of help you as you put together a strategy to say, okay, I want to do well for some of these keywords. I want to do a little bit better here. Then awesome. This could be a really, really good opportunity for you to select one of these URLs. What I'd recommend doing at this point, if you're still looking into this strategy here of how to help them do better for keywords that they're currently already performing for, is try to do your best to look through and see how often a particular URL is in there. So you can kind of see here, okay, here's the cereal box one right there. Oh, look, it's here as well for another variation that has a good amount of traffic with even lower keyword difficulty. As I keep going, let's see if we find it again. Okay, not quite finding it again, but you can kind of say, okay, it looks like there's a lot of terms that are doing well for this particular page. That's even better for us because that means we can do work on one page, excuse me, this page right here, rather than working on this page and this page and this page. We can just kind of focus our efforts on one page rather than working on a bunch of them. So by going after this term, we're probably going to do better for this term as a result as well. So that is a good way to kind of look and kind of find kind of these recurring themes of particular pages that look like a good opportunity. It looks like this back to school bulletin board page, it looks like it's on here a handful of times too. So maybe it would be good that if we looked into the particular keywords there for this particular page, and that could be another good way to be able to find some of these opportunities. Let's take a look at this particular page's keywords.
Ryan, I have a question not related to strategy, but for them like writing blog posts right now, would that be a good way to figure out what close variations of that keyword might be? is look at what terms people are searching.
Yeah, that's a good
That
question.
URL.
So let's see, I'll pull the probably the solar system one. We'll pull that one. So yeah, if we're writing posts for this one, we'll pop that in there. And then we already have this one in here. I'll look in the keywords here. But okay, we have 100 different keywords here that we're performing for. Let's take a look at some of those keywords. So yeah, you can kind of look through here and kind of say, okay, let's see which keyword has the most. Yeah, solar system project. Okay, that's obviously a good opportunity. Planets for kids. Okay, that's a little less related, and they're in position 73, so that's not particularly helpful. That being on page 7. So let me go ahead and add that filter in here. I just want to look for anything that's off of. We'll do 25. Okay, here's a bunch of different keywords within the same area that we could potentially go after. Maybe if we wrote some of our content on this page to include some of these keywords, maybe we do a little bit better for it. Maybe that would be a good thing for us to work on, is add a little bit more content on it to go after solar system planets project, because those are words that people apparently search. So that could be a good opportunity for us, right? Solar system activities for kids. Okay, that looks like a good opportunity there. Planet project, I don't know, probably not that one. But that could kind of help you as you're kind of trying to determine maybe the anchor text that you're using. And maybe as you're trying to determine what to do, this could be a helpful way for you to be like, okay, well, looks like there's a good amount of searches for 5th in particular, because here someone wrote it here, someone wrote it here for 5th grade. So if that's a recurring theme I want to go after a little bit more heavily, that could be a good opportunity for us. Maybe we'll add more content to the page that talks about 5th grade in particular, in ways that you can use it for that age group. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Good question. So also, as I'm kind of looking in here, here's this other page. This is the back to school bulletin board ideas. That looks like a good one. All about me bulletin board ideas. About me bulletin board ideas. I'm guessing that must be included in here. Looks like that could be a really good one. Here's back to school bulletin boards 2021. Obviously, that's not going to be a great keyword to go after any longer, because hopefully people aren't like going back and looking at past years, right? So that doesn't make sense there, but that's okay. And maybe if we wanted to add some content for 2023 or 2022 or something like that in the future, that could be a good opportunity. I still don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it, but that could be an opportunity. So let's see here. Position, I'm going to go be a little bit more open to this. 0 to spot 30 in Google. And then keyword difficulty, we'll keep it still pretty broad there, but I think most of these opportunities are going to be under here. Okay, all about me bulletin board ideas. That seems to be a pretty common one. So as you're looking through these, if you kind of see these different terms, or these different themes, I should say, within this, then we can actually take a look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, show me keywords that have about in there. And any target, I'm going to make sure that it's only in the keywords, not necessarily the URL itself. And then go ahead and hit apply. Okay, look how many times this about me thing is in here. Lots of times. And there's, 300 searches here, 80 searches here, 100 here, 150. This is a pretty good opportunity. So currently we have it on this page. Let's go ahead and take a look at this page and see how well it talks about it. Okay, so this has 10 different ideas here. All about the students, showcase your I'm looking for the about, all about me, about them, about. Ooh, all about me activities here. These are all about me activities. Let's see here. All about me lap book. That's not quite what we're looking for. It looks like there's a lot of about me bulletin board things was kind of more regular. Or more commonly used. Build a book, boggle boards, about. Maybe they don't have it. That's interesting. So maybe they don't have this particular page on here. So what would be your recommendation?
Suggest you write one
Correct.
and they publish it.
Yeah, so this page is performing for these keywords pretty much on accident. I mean, really, let's go back to these keywords right there. There we are. They're performing for this, even though we don't necessarily have a page that is explicitly written for this one. So let me go ahead and I'll take this. I don't know if ideas is a great one. It could be. I'll just go with it. Let's take a look at this keyword here. Sorry, I have like 40 different Ahrefs tabs open on top of the ones I normally have. Okay. So yeah, keyword difficulty 4. So totally doable. 300 a month. Pretty solid there. And if you're not familiar with this graph in Ahrefs, this means like how much volatility has there been in this top 10 search results. So you can kind of see here, oh, there's resources that have kind of come and gone. There's resources that have come out of nowhere. Let's see here. What's this? What's this particular one? The purple one? Yeah, so okay, this We Are Teachers one has been here in the past, it fell out for a while and then came back. Okay, not quite what I was looking for there. There we go. Now look at this green one. This has kind of come out of nowhere here. This teaching expertise one has come out of nowhere. August of 2021, it wasn't even there. And now all of a sudden they're in the top search results there for this particular term. You can see Apple-tastic all the way down here. So you could also look at this particular resource on this particular one. And that could give you some different ideas. Sorry, once again, we are all over. But this is all kind of the process that I would go through when I'm finding these opportunities. This particular page has 500 organic keywords. So really good opportunity. Let me look at the all about me bulletin board ideas. Look at all these. These are a lot. There's a lot of traffic here. So you can kind of look at this page and say, okay, give me inspiration, help me understand how I can write this page really, really well. Let's see, do they have a section directly about the About Me things? Not necessarily. So once again, nobody is writing, it doesn't look like anybody's like really writing a great resource for this particular search term. So that's something that we could recommend to our client that they write, or depending on the nature of the relationship, we write. Which for a lot of our clients, we write it. For Apple-tastic, they write it. So because they kind of have some unique insight and stuff like that into teaching that different age group that we wouldn't be able to have. So that would be a good opportunity for us to go and take that to the client and present them and say, hey, it looks like this could be a really, really good opportunity for us. So let's go after that. In fact, I'm just going to take a quick screenshot. And I'm going to take a screenshot here as well. This is literally something I'm going to send over. And typically, sometimes I'll include kind of the position and stuff like that, even though this is for their competitor, not necessarily us. That's fine. I'm just going to show them the opportunity that's there. Any questions about anything I've done here? Okay. I appreciate you sticking with me. I know this stuff can be interesting, but also can be incredibly dry at the same time. So glad to see everybody still awake. Looks like Kendall's close, but we still got her. I'm just teasing. You're doing great. And then also like this cup game thing. I don't know exactly what this is, but looks like other people seem to know. That could be a good opportunity that we could present to our client. So this is how we would do it for clients that are performing relatively pretty well. Now, let's say we're looking for opportunities that we don't have at all, that maybe our competitors do. What we can do is we can actually use this particular thing. It's called a content gap. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on it, content gap. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab some of our competitors. In this particular example, we have several different competitors that have been given to us. Oftentimes we can't necessarily find these on our own. Sometimes we can. So you might need to ask the client for a little bit of direction in how to be able to get these. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to grab all of these. There. So what this is going to do is it's going to find keywords that our competitors are in the top 10 or on page 1 of Google that we are not. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that, let that calculate. Might take a while because some of their competitors might have a bunch of keywords. Anybody use this tool before? Okay, this one's cool. So, and now let's see here. I'm going to go for keyword difficulty. I'm going to bring this down because, yeah, if the keyword difficulty is 60, I just don't know. That could be a really hard one. But 24,000 monthly searches, that could be baller. But still, that could be a challenge. So just to simplify this down, I'm going to take this to keyword difficulty of at least less than 25. And let's take a look at that. Word count. What is this? Is this a new feature? I don't even know what that is. Cool. We're adding stuff to this all the time. Okay. First day of school activities. Okay, that could be a good one. April Fool's pranks on teachers. I don't know why you do that one. I feel like that's a bad idea. You're like setting yourself up for failure. Maybe we could create a fake one of these and it's all like these really nice things. Buy them a gift card. That'll get them. Anyways, all sorts of different opportunities there. So theme anchor chart, 2,100 monthly searches, keyword difficulty of 9. That could be a really good one. Point of view anchor chart. That could be another good one. Once again, looks like a keyword difficulty of 9, about 2,000 monthly searches. This teaching with a view, I think is the name of this website here. Looks like they have a lot of, they seem to do a lot of anchor charts is what these are called. Story element anchor charts. Once again, here's another one. Text structure anchor chart. So they are the queen of anchor charts is what it looks like. So if I decide, yep, I'm going to focus in on anchor charts because that is what, or I don't want to see anchor charts. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Not see anchor charts? Okay, let's say for whatever reason, our client doesn't do anchor charts. They don't like that. We'll just go ahead and exclude anchor. So any of these keywords that have anchor in it, we're not going to see anymore because we've excluded it from there. So that can be helpful. And it's loading. It's going to take a minute here. It's thinking about it. Cool. Okay, now that we've removed those anchor chart things, if we wanted to, now we have this kind of narrowed down a little bit more. We have theme versus main idea. Okay, that's interesting. 1,200 keywords. Okay. Restate the question, whatever that is. The week junior. I don't know. Domain specific vocabulary, domain specific. Okay. I don't know what domain specific whatever is, but it is a strong recurring theme here. Someone might know what that is. I do not. Let's take a look at that. Domain. Cool. Look at this. Look at all of these search terms here for this particular thing, whatever the heck it is. That could be a good opportunity. I'm assuming that our client could create content and products around this. So that could be an opportunity that we bring to them is say, hey, do you do this? Do you do domain specific vocabulary? Language is primarily used within one area of knowledge, but not in others. Yeah, sure. We have, here's this resource in particular that we're talking about. Yeah, we create topics on that. Okay, awesome, Mr. Client. Maybe you should create a product around this particular thing, and that could be really good. It looks like there's a lot of traffic for it. So that could be an opportunity that we go and we bring to our client as far as that. Any questions about anything that I've shown here as far as the content gap and how to use that?
Do you ever recommend like going after something that's like somewhat time sensitive in the sense of like with Appletastic, like a back to school or like holiday related things? Because how do you like plan when would be a good time to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, good question.
Or do we just stay away from it?
No, it can be a really good opportunity. Let's see here. Okay, that's for the overall one. If I do this for Appletastic in particular, they actually have one that is actually, they do like Valentine's math, and stuff like that. So I actually am all for it because that holiday is going to come around again. If it was like the one time that this is ever going to happen, we're never going to run into this again, then I would shy away from it. But here, let me go the whole domain. And I have to leave here in about just a couple minutes here. But let's see, no, I want the whole domain. There we go. So if I search here into some of their keywords, and I'll look up Valentine's in particular. Like Valentine's math, Valentine's Day math, Valentine's Day math activities, math, Valentine's Day activities, 6, 5. Like, look at all these different, like, this is really good. Like, and we're already doing not bad here. So with a little bit of love, man, we could be like really just killing it here. We're already doing great without much work. So that could be a really good opportunity. But once again, that only does strike once. So my preference is generally going to be a little less non-seasonal things, but the way that this particular client's industry is that it's very seasonal. There's back to school things, and so people are searching back to school terms, and end of year, and Valentine's math, and St. Patrick's Day math, and all those different things. Like, I'm sure if I looked up math in particular, they probably have so many, like St. Patrick's, Easter's, President's Day, I don't know, probably so many different types of specific Thanksgiving math, like everything you can imagine. They probably have Christmas math worksheets. This could be a really big opportunity if we wanted to go and kind of focus more seasonally. That could be a great opportunity. So I'm all for it. Just you have to educate your client and help them understand you might not see this return until next February, or January, as they're prepping for February, and that's okay. Any questions about that? Okay, so this is kind of some ways that we can find these opportunities and these strategies for clients that are already performing relatively well. Like, they already have a good amount of search terms that they're already performing for. This could be a great way to kind of expand and diversify and present new opportunities for our clients to be able to do that. Next time we'll get together, we'll talk a little bit more because we didn't really have time to get into it, but talking about this poor SAP, what do we do here? Because they're in kind of a unique place that we don't have great opportunities here. So for them, the content gap thing, like I did, would be a great way to kind of look at some of their competitors and then potentially find those opportunities. But when I show this one to you later, you'll realize that wasn't even really a good opportunity for them. So I went through all of this data and decided the winning opportunity probably wasn't even in here, but we'll talk about that more probably next week. So thank you so much for